Got him. All right, guys. Whatever I got now is not happy about being caught. And I got him on this jerkbait. And it almost has to be a big old pike. It's big. Yeah, it's a big old monster pike. Look at that thing, guys. And he just choked that cutter jerkbait. This is gonna be a handful. So I've got the boat. Look at the size of that pike, dude. That is a thick pike right there. Put the power poles down so we can hold the boat here. And I'm just gonna let him get tired for a second because that thing is thick. And you can see that I got a 30-pound Trident 100% Pro-Spec fluorocarbon leader right there. And I'm not sure if he's gonna stay pinned. He's got the front hook right in the corner of the mouth. And as camera pans over, you can see we've got this rocky point the boat's sitting on right here. And I ran it down. This is the third cast on that point. I ran a couple different angles by there. And the third one, he got it. Hey. Okay. Now we're gonna see how graceful I can be with him. And I think with him being a pike and being as graceful as I can. Easy, come on back over here, buddy. And this is my regular smallmouth bass rod. Come here, buddy. That's how you do it. That's a big pike, dudes. Look how thick. It's funny because it isn't the longest pike you're ever gonna see, but that's a big one. And see if I can get him unhooked before we do anything else. And then I'll try to get him out of this net. And you know, cold front, air temperature was 90 degrees 2 days ago. Now it's 50 degrees. Okay, he's free. And I'm gonna see if I can get underneath him and get a good hold of him. Just like that. And there, guys, is one big fat elkhead pike. And if you wonder why we throw jerk baits, that's why, guys. I mean, the water temperature's dropped 6 degrees in 4 days. Water level is dropping like 8 inches a day. And we just go work around and caught that big guy. All right, guys, one more quick look and we'll get him put back there. That's a big old thick pike, dude. Look how thick across the back of the head right there. Get him in the lake here and let him get his wits about him. Come here, fish. Come here. Or maybe not. There you have it, guys. So pike slime all over me. Give me a second to get my act together. And just for the record, that blood on the deck's for me, not the fish. So I think we'll be okay anytime you get me around pike. But yeah, the chrome or the pearl colored cutter jerkbait's cutter 110 plus. And the reason that color, so much color in the water that it don't have enough light penetration to pick up chrome. Otherwise I'd be throwing chrome a lot. But working the bait real quick because we do have 66 degree water, even though it's dropped a whole bunch of temperature. I'm working the bait real quick, just keeping it moving, covered in water. And there you have it. So another jerkbait comes through again. It's the only thing we've been bit on so far today, and it's been bit twice. And you can look, there's square bill crankbaits and spinner baits and a couple different pitch baits, and cutters getting bit. We will take it all day long. Short little fluorocarbon leader that long. It's Trilene 100% fluorocarbon Pro-Spec in 30-pound leader. It's tied off right there to the jerkbait, and then a 15-pound X9 braid, my standard jerkbait setup. Doesn't matter if we're fishing for snook or smallmouth or anywhere in between, that will get the bills paid. Fish, got him. All right, on the jigging pig, or on the swim jig. And I think it's a good largemouth, and it is a good largemouth. There you go, guys. We're gonna go ahead and boat swing him up in here. You can see I got the leader on it. And that's a good largemouth right there. And that's what we came here to get. And you know, they get bigger than that. We've shown you already bigger than that, but that's a nice one. We'll take them in the morning. And they've been stocking so many of these in here as a replacement for the smallmouth. And it's been so many years since I've been over here that I had to come see how many of these guys were really in here. And there's one right there. There's also a couple of lessons. First, we're gonna get him put back. And I'm keeping my hands out of the water because it's cold. couple of quick lessons. You know, like we said, we were here last night and we fished for basically 4 hours yesterday afternoon, come back this morning, we're gonna fish about 4 more. It's an unusual trip for us here at Fishful Thinker, but that's just how the drive works out from our house. This same section of bank right here, we caught a big pike and a big largemouth on yesterday. And so we thought this morning we're gonna come back, even though it's gonna be a bunch colder, we'll hit some of those same sections of bank and see if it's a location thing. In other words, that's why the fish were there, or is it just where they were in the afternoon? So now, 12 hours apart, we've caught them right here in the same spot. So it goes back to never leaving fish to find fish. There's a bunch of banks that are very similar to this, but for whatever reason, this particular one seems to be holding largemouth. So we're gonna keep after them, see what happens. But for now, I'll show you what we're using because it's a little bit unique setup because of pike in here. I've got a 1/2 ounce black and blue swim jig right there. And you can see that, and then it's got a critter hog on the back, a Maxent critter hog on the back, and it's got a lot of flavor. It's real dark blue, black and blue color for this watercolor right there. I've now thrown it a grand total of about, I don't know, 10 times, and it's been bit twice. There's a leader knot right there where my finger is, and this is 30-pound Trilene Pro Spec leader material, fluorocarbon leader material, and that's in case a pike grabs this thing, gives me a little bit of protection from his teeth. And then up here, 20-pound traditional Trilene 100% fluorocarbon. So we'll see if we can get us another bite with it. I've got it on a what is it, 7.3? Yeah, 7'3" heavy powered rod on the Veracity rod, and then the ALF reel, the 8-to-1 ALF reel, and we'll see if we can get it bit again. And I'm just swimming it. If the camera looks at the graph, there's flooded sagebrush and cedar, everything else all underneath here. So I'm just kind of swimming this thing through all the cover and letting it do what it does. It's weedless. You know, if I try to run the trebled bait through here, then you're constantly hung up. If I can't even get a square bill crankbait through it without it being hung about every other cast. So this is the only way I can work down tighter to the bottom. Either that or I got to work the jerkbait over the top of it, and that has also worked for us. Fish, got him. That's a big one too. Oh, it's a big old pike. No, he's not as big as I thought he was. I gotta quit hitting that button. Okay, pike, stay. Stay. Okay. Now we're gonna be graceful with this fish. We're gonna see about getting right here and just getting a hold of him like that. And there's that swim jig. Hey, 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 hey. Easy. You guys, I usually recommend, and I didn't on that case, smash the button on your reel. If you drop a fish and he takes off, and the reason he took off is I poked him. Yeah, it does have a clipped fin, no tag. Oh, he does have a tag right there, so we'll take that. That's ours. And we'll find out about this fish and see if he's ever been out of this reservoir before. But there's one pike, and we're gonna put him back gracefully and let him get out of here. And there's a tag. And I've caught a bunch of tagged fish here. This is an old tag, it's all covered in algae, so we'll get that off of there and see what that's all about, but we'll send that to Parks and Wildlife, and they'll tell us when that pike was caught, where he was caught, how big he was when he was caught, and they're kind of aging him. They're also seeing if they show back up in the Yampa River. There is a thing below here to prevent the Yampa from these fish from getting into the Yampa River so that they don't get into the Green River and subsequently the Colorado River. But those are pretty neat. If you ever find those, you're supposed to pull them out of the fish or get the tag number, one or the other, and go from there. I just pull them out of the fish and we'll have that number later on. So, and then once again, I'm bleeding. All right, so our tackle that did all the work yesterday and today is right here. Here's our 2020 tackle. This is a 7'3" heavy power, fast action, Veracity casting rod right here. It's got a 1/2 ounce jig and pig on it. I went through a couple of these today. I did snag and lose a couple of them, but it's got the 1/2 ounce black and blue jig and pig with the with the Pit Boss, Powerbait Pit Boss sapphire blue trailer on it, 20 pound, trying 100% fluorocarbon as a main line, and then the leader is short, like that long. There's the leader knot right there, guys. And this is 30 pounds, same thing I would throw in saltwater if I was going snook fishing or something like that. And then the Rebo ALF, and it's an 8-to-1 gear ratio on that. It's a real fast retrieve to get tight on fish in a hurry. This is what we caught everything decent on today. We only caught baby pike on the other bait. Yesterday, we did all of our damage on this rod, and that's the 6'8", medium power, extra fast action Abu Garcia Veracity rod right here. It's my standard jerkbait rod. I'll spare you some of the details because we've done this a lot, but that's the Rebo Rocket, size 30 Rebo Rocket. It's the highest retrieve speed they make. That's why it's on here. When they make a faster one, I'll get it. I've got a short, there's the leader knot. That's how short that leader is, guys. That's a tiny little leader. It started off about that long. I've cut it down as I've changed jerk baits, but that's it. It's the same 30 pound that's on there. And then the little Cutter 90 jerk bait here. Now that's the smallest one. We threw that one today because it was calmer. Yesterday, when it was a little breezier, I threw the 110 in both the shallow and the deep model, and both of them got bit. I threw white and chrome, and when we got the most amount of suns when I got the chrome out. But these two rods did all the damage despite all the fancy rods in the boat. Those are the only two that got bit. And we find that commonly on trips that that's going to be the case. When you get a bait that's working and a rod reel line setup that's working, run with it. I'm an advocate of specialty setup rods. All I ever do with this rod is pitch some sort of a Texas rig or jig and pig, and all I ever do with this one is throw jerk baits. They're set up just for doing those things, and it makes me my most efficient.